Okay, the time is now 6:32. We are in session. Let me add somebody. Everybody, we got three participants out there in the World Wide Webs. Can y'all hear us clearly? Just want to confirm.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's, again, 6:32, we are in session. Notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas will be held on Thursday, January 8th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas, where a quorum of the City Council will be present. All agenda items are subject to action. You could join the meeting at the Zoom link provided in the agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting if providing comments in person, and at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing the city secretary or by calling 210-607-0834 if speaking telephonically or by audio. An audio recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. We did have a call to order. May I have a quorum call, please, ma'am?
Alderman Brickner,
Here.
Alderman Tremblay,
Here.
Alderwoman Walker.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Madero.
Here.
City Attorney and City Secretary. We got a quorum.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay, citizens to be heard. People wishing to speak may sign up with the city secretary in the time and manner as indicated above. Let's see, the time is provided for citizens to address the city council on issues and concerns related to the city of Sandy Oaks. Please note that the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the city council from responding, commenting, or discussing items or topics during this portion of the meeting that are not included on the agenda. The city council appreciates hearing from the citizens, and your thoughts and questions are valued. However, civility and a sense of decorum will be strictly followed. All speakers must address their comments to the city council. Speakers shall refrain from public criticism of members of the city council that is prohibited by law. This item will be open for up to 30 minutes with 3 minutes to each speaker. One person may speak on behalf of a group. Up to 3 minutes, up to 3 people may register on behalf of the group. For the spokesperson to be allotted up to 9 minutes to speak. If there are more than 10 speakers, each will be given 2 minutes or 6 minutes for a group spokesperson. Excuse me. All right. At this time, I do have a representative from Carlos de la Cruz for Congress. I have Mr. Ramirez. You do have the floor, sir.
Sorry, let me come to the podium.
You can, yeah.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and members of the Sandy Oaks City Council, and thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Michael Ramirez, and I am the campaign manager for the Carlos de la Cruz campaign for Congress here in District 35. Carlos, a little bit about him and our campaign, and unfortunately he wasn't able to make it tonight, but he did want to me to be here, is to tell y'all that he is a 20-year Air Force veteran. He's a father and a husband, and he is an America First Republican running for the Congressional District 35. Over the past several months, our campaign has been focused on listening to residents, first responders, and local leaders. And what we hear constantly is a desire for stability, public safety, and thoughtful decision-making that protects cities such as Sandy Oaks as it continues to grow. And while Sandy Oaks is a small city, it doesn't exist in isolation. Decisions are made locally, are affected by regional and national pressures, particularly when it comes to public safety, infrastructure, and emergency services. And Carlos believes that cities function best when they are prepared, proactive, and are willing to work collaboratively with local councils and agencies. Our campaign has been endorsed by 11 of Trump's closest allies, as well as the Border Patrol Council. And we are a firm believer in public safety. We're a firm believer in protecting our children, and we are a firm believer in keeping faith, family, and freedom as the values that represent our country, but also our state and our communities. And I will lastly leave y'all with that we really hope that we can have your support for this campaign. I understand that, there's a lot of candidates that are running in this congressional race, but Carlos is unique in the fact that he is not a politician. He has no political experience whatsoever. And I think that probably gives him his greatest strength because he doesn't come from money. He's a regular person that served this country. And like how I feel politics should be, and just as an example here at the city council is it's everyday people that serve the community, not people that are born into wealth and born into politics because of their parents. It is everyday people like yourselves that affect change and help the people that you grew up with. So with that being said, thank you for having me to speak, and we hope we can have your support for the campaign. I'll also be leaving my campaign cards out in the back lobby room. If y'all would like to contact me or get in contact with our campaign, we'd be happy to talk with y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, we do have Miss Rebecca Val. Ms. Val, you do have the floor. It is 6:39.
I'm gonna stand back here. Hello, everybody. My name is Rebecca Val. I lived here in Sandy Oaks before it was called Sandy Oaks, when it was called Waterwood. That was a long time ago. Before this government was even here. I went into the city because my son was gonna go to college at SAC. And if y'all recall, there is no way to get from here to the city unless you have to drive. Both my boys graduated from Southside High School. My son now, he is going to Texas A&M to get his master's degree in accounting. So I want to thank y'all for that. And I say that because it takes a community. I was a single parent with 2 boys. Make a long story short, I've been working really hard with the government. I have a job where it's a need to know. My job now that where I work with the government, I have to drive into town, past 410, down Nacogdoches, close to the Thousand Oaks. I leave my house at 4:30 in the morning, and we all know how much fun traffic is now. So I rather work in my community. I put in for co-compliance. And I know the holidays was crazy. I know the chief said he was gonna try to do interviews at a certain time. I know a lot of things happened during the holidays. I came by yesterday and I was told that the position might possibility be closed already, that they may have a selection in mind. I would like an interview, just a chance, just to see if I qualify. Like I said, I have a lot of certifications. I show them to the mayor, I show them to some people. I will not let you down. I am very devoted, very loyal, very hardworking. Have to be a single parent to raise 2 boys. My oldest son joined the Air Force right after 9/11. When he was in Qatar, he got to work in Air Force One with President Bush. I have pictures of him. Of course, I told him, he gave me a coin of Air Force One. I told him I wanted towels so I could have bragging rights when people wash their hands. Again, I come from a hardworking family. I'm used to working to get what I need. I will be here. I'm just down the street at Wild Fox. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Val.
Yes.
All right, that does conclude then our citizens to be heard. We will move on to mayor and administrator announcements. At this time, don't have any announcements other than to wish you back from hopefully a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Glad to be back in the saddle. It's going to be a long one, so buckle up. All right. What I do want to do is I want to jump to agenda item 12A. Just see if we can take care of some administrative business, discuss under possible action on declaring a vacancy in Alderman Place 3, procedures for filling the vacancy in the position of Alderman Place 3, and or approving resolution 2026-239 to fill the position of Alderman Place 3 by appointment until the next regular municipal election or by special election, and administer oath of office to Alderman Place 3 if necessary.
Or do we need to vacate that position or just nominate?
Just, it was vacated on the day of death, so just nominate.
I would like to nominate Lamar McNeil for Alderman Place 3.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion by Alderwoman CJ Walker and a second by our Mayor Pro Tem to nominate Lamar McNeil to Alderman Place 3. All those in favor say aye.
Can we discuss before?
Sure.
Can we give Mr. McNeil an opportunity to address the council and tell us why he thinks he would be good for that position?
Sure. Mr. McNeil, if you'd like to come up.
What did you need, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
What did you need, ma'am?
Just for you to tell us why you think you'd be good to fill this position, just so the citizens that are listening are present.
Hey, I've got some emails asking if I'd be willing to help out with the vacancy. I've got no problem doing it. I try to come to all the meetings as it is. I try to be a proactive citizen in this town. You know, I've heard my complaints about stuff that I've dealt with out here already and try to get resolved. I have no experience in no city councils or politics or whatever. Retired Navy chief, 22 years. Still working for the government now up at Lackland. So, the only new thing that's happened recently for me is my 86-year-old dad's moved in with me down from Georgia West to Yada Falls. So that my wife's helping me out with him. So unless it's barring an emergency with him, I'd be, other than my, 8 to 4 job at work during the week, I'm willing to help out wherever I can with the city. So, and I've completed the 3 different trainings, the cybersecurity, the Open Meetings Act, and there was another one as well. I got the certs if you need them. So, but I'm no politician. I'm not going to sit up here and beat a drum saying vote for me or whatnot, but I'm willing to help out the city if the city sees fit, and if I'm no good, just tell me to go back into the audience. So.
That's all of us. We're all voted in, right? So we can all be told to go back and sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNeil. All right, so we do have a motion, we do have a second. Any other further discussion amongst the council? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries. So.
Vote on the resolution.
Okay,
So I move to approve resolution 2026-239, a resolution of the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, filling a vacancy of the city council for Alderman Place 3 unexpired term by appointment until the next regular municipality with the name Lamar McNeil filled into section 2.
all right, so I have a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Alderwoman CJ Walker to adopt resolution number 2026-239, a resolution of the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, filling a vacancy on the city council for Alderman Place 3, unexpired term by appointment until the next regular municipal election. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. All right, that motion carries. Mr. McNeil. Is it Lamar
Yes, sir.
McNeal?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, so we want to move around and then we can administer your oath. Is there a chair in my office?
Yeah.
I got it. Don't worry about it. Where do you want to sit down? You want to take Reno's spot?
Where Tom used to
You're
serve.
the right-hand man now. Big shoes to fill. We can do that.
Yeah, what
The,
he needs to, before just taking any duties, he needs to.
okay,
All up here.
okay.
And I'm more than.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have it up and I'll look at your laptop.
Oh, right. But he needs to sign the signature.
Yeah, I'll have Dilma print it out after that. He's gonna do the oath, but she hasn't printed it yet. She'll send it to you right now. We can,
Okay.
we'll sign.
Want me to go get them?
That's it.
Take a video of myself.
Probably should have said, can we do it on the next meeting? This was really long. Oh, actually. Yeah. So, this is the one to get Chris in though. so.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say get out anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Once it gets a little stagnant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. McNeil, you wanna come over here?
You're on the Sandy Oak side.
Yeah. We'll take your picture and all that side if we're gonna glamour shots. So, if you would please repeat after me. I, Lamar McNeil,
I, Lamar McNeil,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
of Alderman Place 3
of Alderman Place 3
for the city of Sandy Oaks
for the city of Sandy Oak
of the state of
of
Texas,
the state of Texas,
and will the best of my ability
and with the best of my ability,
preserve, protect,
preserve and protect
and defend the Constitution
and defend the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Sorry, what I sort of.
No, we're good. I got it.
So you can get behind me. Back in the day.
Got you.
Well, so move on.
And she won, but I got, most of them are in.
Yeah, and we have.
It's only the financial, one financial.
No, that's yours.
Yeah.
All right, so that being said, let's move right back to the top, consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, Sandy Oaks, and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items. The discussion is desired. That item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
I would like to remove that item. If we didn't receive it for this morning, I haven't had time to review it.
Last night, yeah, that's fine.
Request that it be on the agenda for the second meeting in January, please.
All right, well, is that a motion? Or that's a request.
Well, I don't want to discuss it today, so whatever you want to do with it, I'm just not ready to discuss it at all. I haven't looked
Okay,
at this evening time.
well, until we get a motion.
All right, I'll move to place the consent agenda item A on the next city council meeting.
Okay. Just get the date really quick.
May the 22nd.
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 Okay. All right, so I have a motion by Alderman Tremblay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Alderwoman CJ to postpone consent agenda item A. Wait, which one are we talking about?
Consent.
Right, yeah, okay, the
Item
minutes,
A.
right? The minutes from December 11th, 2025, until January 22nd. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries. I will put it on the next consent agenda. All right, my fault. I was talking about financials. All right, financial report. City Secretary Delmo will report income and expenses for December 2025 with possible discussion and or action. Yep.
December the first, the statement beginning balance was $233,350.40. Checks and payments that was cleared were $117,138.58. Deposits and other credits cleared for $401,089.44. And the statement ending balance ended up for December 31st, 2025 was $517,301.16. And that was the ending balance.
All right, signs up for discussion.
With the progress on that report, do not have a payee except for 2 instances on that, and then I some large deposits on that. Thank you for filling in the information on the expense report that did not come through. Usually, I usually cross-reference, but 24 hours is not enough time. It came in yesterday morning. And the sad report is messed up in the manner in which it was, and so it looks like it took the first several columns and put it on the first page and the rest of the columns and put it on the other. The little, messed up, those are my comments, not really points for discussion. Budget versus actual is part of our report as well.
It's part of this standard reporting that I like to provide.
On page 3,
Mhm.
what is ER tax? I know it has something to do with payroll.
Employer tax. ER is typically employer tax.
Is that typical to be at 79% 3 months into the year?
No, it should be about a quarter. I would say there's likely some rolled in there that should land in other categories related to tax or related to other employer fees that have to do with payroll. And we can dig in and see where some of that should land.
And then police department equipment supplies is also at 83% 3 months into the year.
Yes.
Be able to provide equipment and supplies for them for the remainder of the year in the next budget?
Yes, so 30,000 of that, was it 30,000, chief? Let's see.
Correct.
Right, 30,000 went out for the, vests, dash cams.
Motorola body cam.
Body cams.
That's part of the grant.
Right.
We need to submit for reimbursement.
The reimbursement will be coming, so it'll offset the
Okay, so
30,000.
we will get some funds. but
Yes, ma'am.
Just don't want them running out of money.
No, no, for sure.
PMRS on the last page is at 42.86%. Again, I'm looking for everything to be close to 25. Or 30% given the point we are in the year.
Yeah. And then just to let you know, the uncategorized revenue at the very end, that's also being chopped up. So those were the previous credit cards that were not automated. They just need to be divvied up into the various accounts, such as like Public Works, Animal Control, this and that, all their expenditures from the previous months.
Okay, and the TMRS?
Yeah.
Up.
Again, it,
That's under Public Works.
yeah, I'm not too sure. I haven't looked. That's another item we can certainly clear up for the next meeting.
And then the uniforms, do they front load their uniforms? Because they're already at 40% for their budget for the year.
For Public Works still?
Yeah, still the same,
Still same.
fourth page, yes, sir.
Okay. Let me see here. You haven't bought any uniforms that you can think of?
Animal control and public works, their uniforms from out of my house.
Do they come out of your budget? Okay.
Not the police department, that's not animal control, is
Yeah.
under police department.
That's what I was just getting.
I would say they should, well, I don't know what they shouldn't, but I would say I don't think uniforms for the animal control should come out of it. I know where we're going with it. Cause I think the police department has very expensive uniforms. But did y'all buy uniforms recently? So that's why there's an extra loaded there.
There's the pants are rented.
The pants are rented.
Answer rent.
Okay.
So that way, if a new person comes in, we return the pants. We don't have to buy the pants. They were significantly cheaper to rent the pants.
Okay, so given the fact that we have to rent them, are we going to be within budget? Or, because we're, again, this is only the first 3 months of the year and it's already at 40%. Just, I would ask that we look into that and make sure, I'd rather know in advance that we need to rebalance of the funding in order to ensure we're able to provide the uniforms our employees.
Okay, yeah, I can certainly have, we could look at the transactions, me and Delma, and see where it needs to either go, if maybe it needs to be reallocated, or we just need to, like you said, add some more funds to the account.
No, they're not in this budget. It is related to the budget. The cashback that you received when using your Discover card for the city bills, was
Mhm.
that applied to the party? Did that go well?
That exactly was applied to the party. In fact, that
Okay.
came out of pocket extra for the party, but, yeah, it went well. We had, one alderman turn out, I think, right? I think that was it. I think it was just John. But all the staff, for the most part, was there. And we had plenty of leftovers. I think they had Olive Garden for lunch for a few days, so.
So that with some additional funding, your cashback was used to take care of that.
Right.
Thank you.
Are there any other further questions for the income and expenses?
Move to approve the income and expense report as submitted.
Motion by Alderman Tremblay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Us.
And Mr. McNeil's on the board, and a second by Alderman McNeil. To accept the expense, or excuse me,
Income and expense report.
accept the income and expense report as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No,
All right, that motion carries. Let's move right along. Let's go on to agenda item 7, Public Works updates and announcements from Public Works Director Priscilla Schmidt with possible discussion and action. Ma'am, you have the floor.
What else do you want me to do with them?
It's a new business. But you will have the time to talk then too, so.
I have discussed with the Public Works Department that we want to, possibly purchase, some signs to place basically for the community to know that we have a park. So we're not asking to put signage on a whole lot of signs, it's just the main road. It would be like Skyland Waterwood Pass with basically an arrow just indicating, and we just need one sign at that intersection or at that location. Another one would be, like Skyla and Hickory Haven, with a possible arrow also at a sign there, just to indicate, just to kind of maybe help residents that are new to the community. A lot of people I come across, they have no idea we even have a park. I get that a lot. So we are looking into what that might cost us, and I don't think it's gonna cost us a whole lot. To get that, a few signs, and I think we're, me and Michael, we were talking that we might need anywhere from maybe 8 to maybe 10, give or take. And if we ordered 10, it would be just some extras because we're having issues with signs coming down, street signs. Vandalism or somebody hitting a pole and then they take the whole thing.
Yeah, I think Alderman Crickner brought that up last meeting about putting signage out of where the park is. So, we're gonna identify some locations.
I haven't come up with any locations. My idea was to use temporary signs to be put down and picked up after an event that were like the election poster with the stuck in the ground with 2 wires.
You're talking more permanent, or
We're talking actually to go on the street signs, so where it would say Waterwood Pass. We're not gonna put it on those that sign because we already have 2 on there. So we don't wanna like triple stack it, because some of those are a little too much weight. So we wanna put it across one of them stop signs, that it just sits there by itself, but it is definitely indicating, so if somebody is driving through the neighborhood, they are trying to find our city park. It kind of helps them to just kind of give them that guidance they need to say, hey, that arrow is saying city park that way, and then they'll see another sign, and then that would just keep them there to Hickory Haven and then off to the park. Also, I come across a lot of residences that have no idea that's even a community center.
Both community center and the park.
Correct. So I was wanting to get with somebody, on council to maybe create some sort of a sign out there in the front. Whether we need to get some quotes, or I need to get some quotes for that.
When you say in the front, what do you mean? In
I
front
mean, in
what?
front of the community center, just to kind of stake it in the grounds, and that way there's some sort of an event going on.
I think that's been part of the
I
topic
didn't-
with
I
at the
didn't know.
meetings. So
Okay, I didn't know.
I think we already have John Crickmer involved with that, so he would be the one to talk to about that.
Community center.
Perfect. Then I would like to work with you if you don't mind on that.
No, I need your help.
Sure, I'm available. So, I just recently just placed this, sign order because we have quite a bit of signs missing in the community. We've done a drive through the neighborhood and we've got some signs missing. We've even got one of
This
those
is
flash-
here to be weather or traffic or personnel just taking them.
just vandal,
Vandalism mostly.
you know.
All right.
And it'll just take the stop sign or the pole, they'll take the top part of the 2 signs. Sweet Bay and Silver Chalice is one of them, the whole thing is completely gone. The stop sign is there, the pole is there, but the top part of the sign is completely gone. So, but other than that, that's pretty much all that I have for you.
Any questions for our Public Works Director?
yeah, I think if you come back with maybe a cost on the signs. We can look at ideas on how to make the signs. I know Mr. Jones lives next door to me, does a lot of signs with the router.
Okay.
He can do he does some real nice work. He might be able to do them for us.
I don't, well, signs maybe like for the park or whatever, but, as far as the signs go, we have a catalog that we can choose from. And the sign would be just like a street sign, but instead of it being named Skyla or Waterwood Pass, it would just say City Park with an arrow.
That's what.
And the
we-
color would be basically brown. Just kind of like, or we'll get with John or get with one of y'all in council to find out what color would be suitable. So it kind of stands out
I
for,
think parks are typically brown. I mean, dark brown.
Correct.
Yeah, the state parks, everything's, the brown signs with I think they're routed, the letters are routed and they're painted yellow, so it stands out, yellow. on
Oh,
the
you're
ground.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would probably work.
but this way here also, that reflective material that's gonna be on there, that sticker reflective.
I think
The routed sign might make sense for the sign at the park, but the sign that she's putting on the
the
on
streets.
the roads,
yeah.
out along the roads would make more sense to order from the catalog where we get the road sign.
Some kind of paint, enamel paint.
Maybe similar
Epoxy
to
paint.
like the burn ban signs, not a foldable one, but like a metal plate.
The actual, what it's gonna be is
Well-
it's actually gonna be a street sign. It's gonna be just like a street sign that says Waterwood Pass or Skyla. It's our regular street sign.
So
And it's
you take
just-
off the top.
It's, so if we're able to put the sign on top of what currently exists of like, an example, Waterwood Pass and Skyla. If we're able to put another one on there and secure it. But sometimes the way the signs are, we need to make sure that it says City Park with an arrow pointing the right direction. So that sign, once I stack them on top of each other, I may not be able to put that sign up there on that top.
Those locations that you identified, can you go and look at them and find out what it's going to take and when you bring the quote back to the city, let us know whether or not you'll be able to stack them or whether you'll need to do something else
Just-
with that.
Cause what we,
I mean, well, look,
Okay.
let's talk about it some more
Let's get
offline.
some
Yeah.
quotes
Yeah.
and See what it's gonna look like and maybe
Isn't it
talk
also
to
been
the
built?
park
I
committee
think
about.
besides the locations that we were thinking, because we definitely need some on New Mathis.
Oh, the flashing light,
And my idea is that New Mathis
the flashing light.
and Skyla, it brings them straight,
Then you need to turn them in the right direction once they get. to the
correct,
neighborhood.
with that arrow.
Correct, but look at the signs and see what's feasible for each of them and then talk to the park committee chair. And see what we want to do with it and look at and come with a proposal.
And the
that
budget.
estimate. Yeah, within the budget,
But we have a signs and maintenance, right? So we have a sign and
Yeah.
maintenance budget, so.
right, with whichever budget we're gonna use, we still need to make sure we're.
Will this also depend on 12L, what we discussed there?
Which is 12.
No,
Also-
because it's fine, we'll just worry about what we're gonna put on the signs later,
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it just says city park.
I know some of y'all have noticed that I was out there at the park around the playground equipment. And I have officially removed the chain link fence that existed around the playground. The poles have finally been removed. They were removed, I believe, yesterday. The remaining of the posts in the ground. We've had too much vandalism going on the chain link fence. And
Are
then
they
were-
vandalizing a chain link
They-
fence?
so they'll take the actual top rail
Oh, so they're destroying it,
and exactly.
okay,
And so they're climbing over the chain link fence. They're taking the post that we've cemented in the ground, one of the corner posts, and they'll actually just pull it right out of the ground. So they had just done some more vandal there. And I've already just removed it. So we're gonna work on trying to put some sand, around. I know there's some railroad ties or landscape timbers. I think it's railroad ties. But we just wanna make sure that it's safe for any of the kids, that there's not like an actual drop off. So we're gonna go in and we're going to, fill in that area, so it's more leveled, smoother. I know it's not much I can do, but we're bringing in we have some sand from, the project that we had on Red Mountain. And they dumped that there at the park, so we're gonna use that material. So I'm not gonna have to purchase anything. And that's it.
Okay, anything else? Any other further discussion? All right, then let's go ahead and move on to agenda item 8. Animal control updates, announcements, and presentation of the monthly report from ACO Cunningham with possible discussion and interaction. Ma'am, as we did last time, if you want to just kind of go through your updates and announcements, and if they have questions about your report, we'll tackle that.
we have 4 dogs that'll be leaving on the 21st. Right now we have 17 dogs back there. We did have 2 owners come and pick up their dogs. So the failure to reclaim fine is a good deterrent for people for getting their dogs here. So it's been working. We did pick up 2 litters of puppies. And that is why we have so many dogs back there, because the puppies count for quite a few when you pick them up.
Is there fines with that?
What, for the puppies, they're strays. So there's no owners for these puppies. One of them was found in a vacant lot and the other ones were found in someone's yard. They just showed up in their yard. So those puppies, we just hopefully can get, one of them, I have the mama dog. The other one, I haven't been able to catch the puppy and mama that are remaining. So we are trying to get her. She's been causing a problem. Every time we get out there though, she's already moved on. So we do have 4 dogs moving out. And then one of the litter of puppies, they asked if I can hold them until the 21st when their shipment of dogs that they currently have at their location leaves. So hopefully by the 21st, we'll have several of the dogs leaving. I am still working with Austin Pets Alive to bring home the other litter, the older litter, and working, hopefully soon I can get a appointment for the vet to come in and give us a inspection. So that is something that I haven't been able to speak with him yet, but I should have done it today and I didn't get a chance. So other than that, I don't think I have any updates or announcements.
So do you think the fine for having a puppy, having a litter is helping folks get or encouraging folks to get their animals fixed even if they're pregnant? Are you not seeing that?
I'm not seeing anyone really taking advantage of that, right? Oh, you know what? I did have something to say about that. Getting the puppy dogs fixed. Very important. And I'm sorry that I forgot it. Right now, San Antonio Humane Society, it opened up the spay and neuter. Usually the dogs have to be 40 pounds or less. They just hope to get your dog fixed for $30. They just opened it up for dogs that are up to 100 pounds. It's only for the month of January. So if anybody has a dog that needs to get it, they need to get fixed. That is happening. Also, SNPSA is having the big fix right now. And I believe anybody can sign up for that as well.
Are you guys advertising that through your social media feeds?
Yeah, I have posted it several times on Facebook, on Nextdoor, and I haven't really gotten a lot of people coming in, but if they need help making the appointments, I can help them make their appointment. As long as there's an appointment available, we can get them in and they just give us the payment, we pay online, and then they have their appointment booked. So it's very easy. It takes probably 30 minutes. Just filling in their information is what takes the longest.
And then are you getting community cat caregivers?
I have been, yes, that has actually been fairly successful. I just ordered today or yesterday 2 more traps. So we have a total of 4 traps now.
And those are available for citizens to
Yes.
use to capture their
Yes.
community cat.
And hopefully I can get some more. I just stuck with 2 for now, but I'm hoping to get some more.
You don't have to accept their payment, right? You can use their credit card.
Yes, that's what I meant by
Okay.
accepting their form of payment.
Some people might not have credit cards, so utilizing.
Where is the facility?
The SA Humane, San Antonio Humane Society is over on Fredericksburg
The one
Road.
on Fredericksburg?
Yes, sir. It's
Is
the
that-
Leo Newell Medical Building.
Isn't it close to the zoo?
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's not
not.
that-
It's not.
that's a different- They're everywhere.
But,
But-
Does the citizen, they're responsible to take their animal?
Yes.
Also, about cats, I've been feeding Mr. Rapino's cats. And I'm still feeding them every day. But there's 3 unneutered males, intact males. And a female that I believe is carrying a litter. And 3 kittens. And, I'm needing to find a way to get them fixed. I have 2 traps suitable for small enough to take them intake for the surgery, for the fixing. So I need to get a schedule on, I can't keep them in the trap for days. I need to get it done when I trap them. So I need to get some arrangements on when to do that and where to take them.
Okay, the San Antonio Humane Society, will do that. I believe they do it Monday through Friday. They were closed for the holidays, so I don't think there's a specific day. You just kind of have to
Get there real
get there real
because-
early in the morning.
Can you give him the exact information so he can help resolve this situation with Tom Rapinoe's
Yeah, but I mean,
cats?
Yeah.
is the city
Thank
gonna
you.
pay for it or me? I could just quit feeding them like people have suggested and let
That's
them find their own home.
that's Lamar McNeil's job now, since he
Yeah.
replaced Mr. Rapino.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
You fed them, you own them.
Okay.
All right. All right, yeah, just figure it out offline and. Anything else for animal control? All right, then we will move along. To agenda item 9A, updates, announcements, and presentation of the monthly report from Chief Waters with possible discussion and or action. Chief, again, if you want to just kind of go through your updates, and then if we have questions regarding your reports, we'll go from there.
As far as updates, I really don't have much as far as updates other than, the grant that got approved for us to order new vests. Got approved and the vests have been ordered. It'll be about a 45-day turnaround before they come in. And then, I do want to make an announcement about today. Our officers did an excellent job. Or in the report, you'll see a sexual assault of a child there. The investigation started last month, but it was a long investigation. And then today, Lieutenant Sarge, they got with the Rangers and DPS, did some surveillance, got a helicopter out there, turned into DPS had to ram the car to get it stopped, but we recovered a whole lot of drugs and a lot of felony arrests came out of today. So they're back there right now doing the evidence, but he's in jail. So that's a good thing. I think we're gonna post it on social media. But I want to give them props on that investigation. And other than that, I don't really have any new announcements.
Can you explain what information report means?
So an information report is a non-criminal activity report, right? So it could be something that's not categorized as like a family disturbance or something. It's just basic information, right? Somebody's calling in, hey, I want to let you know that this is occurring, but it's not a criminal offense, but yet we're going to document it for you in case you need it in the future, whatever the case may be.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions for the police department?
Just another agency,
Yes, sir.
the BCSO and SOPD. Is so SOPD is assisting, that's a call to assist another agency?
So that can be anything from us either assisting another police department agent or a police agency such as assisting Bear County or assisting Elmendorf, or it could be assisting fire department, assisting EMS. It's just, or it's something that wasn't San Diego PD as a primary entity.
So these ones with Bear County, are they assisting SOPD in any of those?
It could possibly be that they were, some of them that they were assisting us, and some of them they may have been assisting fire or EMS as well.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Yes.
How was the fireworks on December 31st.
So apparently there was a lot of calls that came in. We didn't have anybody working throughout the extensive of the night, but I'm down at 3 officers, so, but I heard the next day there was quite a bit of calls that did come in for fireworks or gunshots. There was quite a few calls that did come.
A lot of semi-auto and autos going.
It was bad.
He called me on.
So down to 3 officers, does that mean, you're still, I think you always had that ad out there, but are you receiving any interest in that ad for another officer for our town so we can get back up to 4?
Right, so I'm down 2. We have 2 openings right now. Yes, so
Who else- who else
Officer
are
Pettis
we
and Officer Forrest are not here anymore.
Okay,
So I have the lieutenant, the sergeant, and myself. That's basically all we have right now. Oh, I'm sorry, and
Okay.
officer.
Mhm,
and
the patrolman.
Officer Trump.
okay.
So we're down 2. It's out there, it's on TML. I've not received any applicants yet. But
Okay.
it's out there.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Anything else? All right, so then we will move right along to agenda item 10, Parks and Recreation. Updated announcement from Park Advisory Committee. Chair with possible discussion and our action. Alderman Crickmore, you do have the floor.
Okay, I put this information out in all your agendas folders. The meeting was on January 6th at 5 p.m. There were 6 attendees. There was 4 issues. Number 1 was the community center sign. It was chosen unanimously by vote of attendees to name the community center sign, Rapino Community Center. And then item 2 is renaming the parks. It was voted unanimously to rename the park to Tom Rapino Park. And then there was a suggestion for an overhead sign at the entrance of the park. This is a kind of an artistic rendition, but I think something that was an arch would be better than straight across, but we're looking at a cutout metal. And what that would cost, who knows? It'd be expensive, I think.
Oh, like
This is just a maybe. This is just,
in CNC, like have Buddy do a CNC
Mhm.
cut.
yeah. And attach them to wire, have a wire background, right?
I like that. And you just put it on poles, metal
Right,
poles.
2
and-
poles,
Yeah.
maybe 14, whatever it takes to get an 18-wheeler of the largest truck through.
Yeah,
And that's just something to consider.
Yeah.
And whether or not we can afford it, I don't know.
I think we can,
I
right?
think
It's
it's
just,
gonna
it's,
be expensive.
it's a barn pole. It's a barn pole at the end of the day, right? With the CNC cutout. I don't
I
think
think
it's,
it would be metal poles, entirely metal.
right.
Yeah,
The only thing is our entryway is kind of wonky to begin with,
I
right?
know.
So it'd have to be squared up, and then maybe we redo the whole entranceway, right? Now that's a bigger issue, but I think we could get something to where it looks a little more proper.
Shouldn't we decide we're gonna name it
Right.
and do all this?
Right, but I'm
Yeah.
just talking about
Yeah.
his,
If we
I'm just talking
decide
about his
that's what we-
We
agenda.
talked about only doing a community center,
Right.
now we're talking about both and
Right.
evaluating the cost and something.
Exactly.
I think needs to come after the move.
We need to decide. This is what the park committee came up with.
Yeah.
Now, the council can decide what they want to do with this information.
It's good
Well,
information.
thank you
I like it.
for discussing it.
And then there was the last issue was, number 4 was, versus resurfacing the current wooden ramp to the community center. They've suggested to take it out and just put steps in. And the park committee unanimously voted against putting steps in instead of the ramp. They voted to resurface the ramp.
And don't you already have the paint for doing that, that has that granular stuff?
We have
built
some
into
paint,
it
I don't know
to-
how much
to
paint
ensure
we
it's not
have,
gonna
but
slip?
we have some paint, I'm sure it'll take at least 5 gallons, I saw 2 1-gallon cans, there may be more. But it's gonna take a sealing coat, maybe some resurfacing of the wood. Then there's gonna be another coat with some sand, some grit in it for adhesion.
I thought the paint already
Anti-skid.
had the grit.
I
in it.
think there is one that does,
Okay.
but. You know, I don't know, we'll see. I can throw sand in there, you know, just blasting sand or play sand,
Sand from the ground.
right,
We have a little around here.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Just, you know, mix it with the paint. Paint it, throw the sand down, paint it again, whatever works.
but ultimately, the goal was to then
The goal is to
re-
preserve the wood because it is
to
deteriorating,
rebuild it though,
yeah.
right? Not remove it. That's what they want.
There was a suggestion to remove the ramp and put steps in, but the park committee didn't like that because the ladies have to carry things in from time to time that can be heavy and bulky.
But what about the metal wrap?
That's kind of people don't really use it that much and the door, where that door is kind of a back door and you can't get in from the outside. Is that correct?
You don't have it.
Right, no key for the back. But you can get in, you can go out, right, but,
Okay,
it's just not, it's very seldomly used. And I'm not real sure about the surface of it. It would seem kind of slick to me if it was icy or anything, wouldn't
or
it
wet,
be?
wet maybe, yeah.
We don't get a lot of ice around here.
It's got,
I know,
I know it's got
when we
ridges
do.
to it, but.
When we
yeah.
do, it's not good, I
Yes,
promise.
sir. Absolutely.
Because if it was snow, it'd be okay, but when we have a little ice storm, things
Yeah.
get slick.
Yeah, seriously, don't come to the park when it's snowing. When's your next meeting?
Oh, my
Sorry.
goodness, I don't have that, shame on me.
No, but it's
It's the.
Pretty standard.
Tuesday of next month.
first Tuesday. I got the 3rd.
Yes, it would be the 3rd
And
at 5 o'clock.
same time, 5 PM.
Yes,
All right. Anything else, sir?
that's it.
All right. All right, moving along, agenda item 11A. Administration unfinished business. I haven't made any progress on the codification or the status of resolutions or ordinances. Any questions on those two?
Well, you did send that out at the
Yes.
last time we discussed it, Alderman Tremblay had requested to receive a copy of that so he could see what I'd been talking about.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions on that spreadsheet I put together and my indications on the issues and concerns with the ordinances?
I haven't seen it.
I sent it out.
I don't know
Send
whether
it
you have
out
your
the
email
day.
account by the time.
It should either way, I always I copy all the emails. So it should be there, but you may just need to go back and look for
Right
it
now, I don't have any.
You also
email.
have an email.
I'm having serious issues with my city email right now
on your phone or where.
on, my.
I mean, not for this agenda item to discuss, but I'll help you. That's what I pointed,
Okay.
so. Let's, let me know, let's get together tomorrow.
But I just wanted to make sure that no one had any questions on
Yep.
what I did with that document and when I went through.
No, no problem.
And you will have access to email soon.
Wasn't the codification service something we were going to subscribe to?
Yeah, but there was issues with the status of the resolutions and ordinances first before we then jump into codification. That was at least the plan of attack.
Weren't there two
There were
vendors?
two vendors, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at other cities, there are other cities using it. If you go and try and
So we
search,
definitely need it.
yeah, if you try and search, Fallen Army,
Yeah,
all their stuff's in, but it's all in the codification and it's
Yeah,
very
okay,
easy
yeah.
to find stuff.
yeah. I mean, just Control F on the computer and
Yeah.
it'll take you everywhere you need to.
Yeah. We gotta
It'll,
get there.
it'll tell you what's been,
Yeah, I think you were here when we did the demonstrations from the two companies too, because you've attended a lot of them, joining the council, so.
I did see that, yes.
So that's the kind of thing that we're talking about.
Not that I understood it.
all right. If there's no discussion on those items, then let's jump to agenda item 12, new business. Now for the purpose of some guests we have here, I wanted to look at Pass. Agenda item L, discuss and or possible action on naming a facility in honor of Alderman Lupino. L and then M. So I sent out, obviously I sent out the resolution, but then I sent out also a policy on naming. Just for y'all to review from our city attorney. I think it is in good procedure that we do adopt a policy on naming, just so that way, one, if somebody doesn't like Rapino 10 years from now, they decide to change it to something else. I think once it's a policy set, it's not going to be changed in the future. That goes for anything that we decide to name. That's just one example of why I think we need a policy. Is it what?
Well, policy guideline ends at F. There's no like signature or anything required on this.
I think it was just a policy.
So it's just a policy. There's no signature or anything like
Yeah.
that. Just want to make sure.
There's
what
a
we're missing.
resolution. And
Yeah.
then adopt.
Yeah, we have resolution 2026-42, and then I think it's just adopt the policy.
42.
Yeah,
Okay. So this is just attached to the resolution. There's no signature or anything on it itself. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
And it seems to end.
So I move to adopt resolution 2026-242, resolution of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, establishing a naming policy for city buildings, facilities, land, or any portion thereof to include provisions for temporary names and providing an effective date.
do you have a motion by Alderman Tremblay? Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Alderman Crickmer. This is up for discussion in case there was anything that you wanted to point out. If there are no further discussions, I will go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries to adopt a resolution number 2026-242 of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, establishing a naming policy for city buildings, facilities, land, and or any portion thereof to include provisions for temporary names and providing an effective date. All right, then we can work our way back up to agenda item L. Discussing our possible action on naming a facility in honor of Alderman Rapino. I like Rapino Park.
Yeah, I don't have an L. Was there?
I think it's just discussion.
Just a discussion. There's no resolution we need to approve together.
Well, the policy says that names will be adopted by resolution, but you know, it also gives you the authority to waive any provision of the policy if y'all would like to adopt that today. And then, that facility is defined,
It seems to include the parks, isn't it?
yeah, the agenda just provides for facilities. I don't know if that would include her property.
Well, it says city land. Real estate owned and are managed by the city.
Yeah, we adopted the resolution,
Limited to park property.
right?
So
Rufino Community Center, that's, the park was a new issue, right?
Right, but I think we should pick one or the other.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this is a lifetime
We're not gonna do
renaming,
both.
because we can't change it later if we name.
I don't want to say I don't want to, but I think we should pick one.
Okay.
That's
so
my opinion. And
What do
it's,
we pick?
Because we can only do one, because based on this resolution we just passed, we can never change it.
Yep.
As long as one B is still complied with,
Mhm.
in order to ensure the heritage that we're attempting to, all of it,
Yeah.
offspring, everything, we're not supposed to change it, so I would be hesitant to do both. But
Okay.
I would prefer that we ask the park committee, the folks that work with him the most, which would they prefer if we were only going to do one?
They're here.
sure, that's why we invited. them. You do have the floor if you'd like to discuss. If you had to pick one, which one would you choose?
Rapino Park.
The park?
Tom Rapino, not just Rapino, correct?
I like the
Yeah.
I like Tom Rapino myself, but that's me.
I would agree. Tom Rapino Park as the name of the park with the sign over the entrance, I think would be a great memorial to him.
We're gonna,
Any other questions for the committee?
do
Otherwise-
I need to make a motion?
Somebody needs
If
to.
you'd like.
I'd like to, another movement.
I
I
moved
need
to.
to make a motion that
I
we
moved to.
pick Tom Rapino Park for the name of the city park. Is that sufficient?
I second that.
And I have a second. So I have a motion from Alderman Crickmer and a second from our Mayor Pro Tem to adopt Tom Rapino Park. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries. Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Focusing on the community.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Answer our questions.
We saw the next door ad. I know y'all were
Three
disappointed.
angels sitting there in the audience.
They do an amazing thing. All right, and can we add that as an agenda item later to discuss the sign, sir?
Yes, of course.
And maybe, Alderman Crickmar can get with Public Works Director and talk about his ideas and potential sources for buying.
Okay. I don't wanna do this. It's the best way. Okay, so all right, then let's just go for the top 12B.
Well, be,
Yep.
all right, the personnel policy manual. As we discussed last time, I fixed the typo that, Alderwoman Walker found. I added the animal shelter technician at the rate of $15 to $25. And then I updated the paragraph on, page 20, paragraph 7B, as the motion indicated it to say. I have completed all of those updates and the mayor, provided that updated final version to everybody. Are there any questions, comments, concerns, or issues with the personnel policy, as we've edited it?
Can we go over it's online and available to
Well,
employees?
the recommendation is it will be posted, well, it's gonna be posted with the resolution, because the resolution states it's gonna be attached to it, if I'm not mistaken. But also the requirement would be for the city administrator, in this case, the mayor, to email that out to all of the city employees, requesting that they sign the last page acknowledging receipt, reading, and understanding of the document. We'll have a printed copy, professionally printed and made available in each department, one for the front office, one for the police department, one for animal control, and one for public works. So that would be 4 printed copies will be made. The email going out to the employees would instruct them that they're not allowed to utilize city resources to print the document, except for that final page that they need to sign and acknowledge. The supervisors and city administrator will be responsible for ensuring that all city employees acknowledge receipt and understanding of this document. So that's the various places and ways in which we will distribute it to ensure our employees and citizens are aware of our policies.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does reference Exhibit A in the ordinance.
Correct.
The
A
resolution.
lot of hard work went into that too.
Yeah.
So I would, if there's no other questions on that, I would move to accept resolution number 2026-241, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, amending the city's personnel policy manual and providing an effective date and for the mayor to, or the city administrator to ensure it's distributed as just discussed.
I'll second.
All right, so I have a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderwoman Walker to adopt resolution number 2026-241, adopting the city's personnel policy manual and providing for an effective date, and to publish and print the document as discussed previously. Any other further questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries. I messed up on 12C, discussion of possible action on rescinding ordinance 2021-17. It is actually a resolution. So I will put that on the next agenda. Because that needs to state resolution and then provide the label. So we'll move along from that one. All right, then let's go to agenda item 12D, discussing our possible action on regulating commercial businesses on residential properties within the city limit. Alderman Tremblay and Alderman Crickner, you do have the floor.
Okay. I know we've talked about the zoning commission and how it was absolved. And that the city council is now the zoning authority. We do have a master plan that explains and stipulates what our responsibilities are, spelled out as far as land usage, as far as protecting people's properties, encroachments, items such as that. So the purpose of putting this on the agenda was to come up with a procedure for notifying these businesses that are popping up on residential properties. I'm not gonna single out one or another, although there is one on the agenda. But we do need to start considering and taking into consideration the protecting residential properties and protecting people's rights to their personal property.
Is this a code enforcement issue?
It's a code, there isn't an ordinance per se, it's in the master plan. There, in the master plan, if you go and look up under, I'll
Yeah,
go
we read the whole
right to
thing.
the whole thing.
We
I
read the
mean,
whole thing.
there are specific items within there that
Right,
that
it was
speak to-
passed by a resolution, but that doesn't make it code enforcement, even though it's
Right,
attached to the
so-
resolution.
So what we need to do then is we either need to adopt deed restrictions, or the city needs to adopt the deed restrictions if that's possible, or we need to go ahead and adopt pass an ordinance to enforce the master plan. One or the other. We need
We
to.
do have an ordinance adopting the master plan.
But
I
we
think it's a
need an
resolution.
Or
ordinance.
resolution. Yeah.
We need something and
Because
to
resolution
enforce
is
the
code
master plan.
enforcement.
It's spelled out in the master plan, but it's not an ordinance per se.
Okay, I do not think
So-
we're going to get support from the citizens in adopting the deed restrictions.
We don't need to get approval from the citizens.
I don't think,
We as a city can adopt the deed restrictions.
I don't
deed
think citizens
restrictions.
would like that, and we have several ordinances that are already violating deed, that go contradicting the deed restrictions. So maybe adopt portions of the deed restrictions, but for example, fowl are not allowed in the town according to the deed restrictions, and our animal control ordinance authorizes
I
that.
understand, but if the majority, I would say the majority of individual deeds for individual properties are also restrictive to single family residences. And we have numerous properties within the city of Sandy Oaks that have multiple
Absolutely.
homes on a third of an acre.
So I think taking some of the deed restrictions and not all of the deed restrictions as a whole that we like, and putting them in an ordinance and adopting them. Because we can make an ordinance out of them. Because if we try and do the deed restrictions as a whole, we're going to have to redo multiple ordinances.
Right, so what about an ordinance in, enforcing the master plan?
That's what I say.
Yeah.
There is an ordinance regarding changes to the master
I
plan.
see there,
So
yeah,
That's,
but I'm talking about the actual, what's in the restrictions within the master plan.
Making violation what's in the master plan.
Anything in the master plan is enforceable as a, as a.
Is that something that can be
a
enforced
law?
under code enforcement, an ordinance that's written in that manner?
I would assume, so I mean, that would be a, I think, question for the city attorney, but I mean, we enforce city ordinances that are adopted by the city, right? So it's not state law, it's city law, but if the city adopts a city ordinance, then yes, we can enforce that.
So we just attach the master
So, I mean,
plan to
and
an
just
ordinance
as
and
far
say
as-
everything in here is enforceable under the city law.
I handed out to the council paperwork where I went to BCAT,
They're kind of
Bearcat,
yeah.
and got the status of these properties in question, and they were residential, but they were functioning as a commercial
properties.
entity.
And
So
so,
then convert them to commercial.
Well, we don't
we don't
want a
want to,
truck.
what does that do to the guy who lives next door? That's what I'm saying, if you look at the
What's-
master plan,
That's
You
right.
don't want to put your puppet on next.
we are,
Well,
City's supposed to be registered.
right,
It's a deed on the fellow with the trucks has a deed, I have a copy of the deed.
The owner of the property lives in Florida.
Right,
Right.
they,
Which means-
that's the finance company.
they're holding a note.
That's the
Okay.
mortgage company.
Okay,
so the residential portion, that's one thing that I found in there. Another thing is we've got commercial vehicles parked on these properties, and they're parked on sand. They're parked on gravel. They're supposed to be parked on asphalt or concrete surfaces.
yeah,
They're
we
not
have an ordinance that allows
Well-
allows the parking of commercial vehicles with a significant restriction.
Right.
That's the deed.
So those are all just things, those are things that are within the master plan that we're not enforcing there.
Okay, so he does own it.
so we can't really rely on PCAD for the designation of the property because that's just for tax purposes. But whatever the property is designated as for the land use would be in the master plan.
And there is a zoning map in the
With
master
the,
plan.
with the map,
Correct.
so which is not the zoning map, it's the master plan map, zoning is more specific classifications within the plan. So if they're permitted under the master plan to operate as a commercial business, even though they're registered as residential with BCAD,
Right.
they can operate as whatever commercial business.
Well, it's
Well,
a tax
I'll take-
issue as well as,
Okay, so the master plan,
I'll take Priest Road, all of Priest Road
Precedent over
is zoned as a
For
C1,
the
which
city.
is
right, the land.
light
land use,
commercial,
thank you.
meaning it's for offices. No restaurants, no trucking companies, that's industrial or heavy commercial.
It's not.
It's not office.
I think we need an
So-
ordinance making the master plan enforceable. I think that's a correct move in
that's
this
what
case.
I say.
So I move that we ask our city attorney to draft an ordinance, in such a manner that makes our master plan an enforceable document in the city.
Sounds good.
I'll second that motion.
All right, so we have a motion by the mayor pro tem and a second by Alderman Tremblay to have the attorney draft an ordinance, right? Is that what you said?
An ordinance.
An ordinance that makes the master plan enforceable. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I do have a motion, do have a second. So just question, right? So how does this work for these here, right?
I don't know.
What is these
I don't know
here?
where you got that map from. That
From our
map is not-
master-
That's
from-
not what's in the master plan.
Yes, it is. It's on our
not pink.
website.
It's not pink, that all of Priest Road is blue. What is it pink described as on your map there? Is it C1?
Well, it's probably purple. Yeah, it's C1 like.
C1, okay then.
So what, by doing this ordinance, right, what does it mean for these people out here? Myself included, I live on Priest, right?
So
So
it's gonna make it
it's-
enforceable. If we want to talk about what's in the master plan, we can do that later to figure out what that implies, but I think at this point, the motion is merely to get an ordinance drafted that's gonna make it enforceable, and then we can go back and discuss the
If
master plan.
changes need to be
at a later
made,
date. Isn't that
these
on the
individuals
agenda?
can come to the city and actually be rezoned.
Right.
And there's a procedure within the master plan.
They
for
have
Yeah,
them to
section
do that.
four.
Hearing. There has
They
to be a
can,
hearing.
they can submit an application with a $250 fee and they submit it to the council. And then there's a citizen meeting, you can bring their neighbors in and hear from the neighbors what they think about having whatever, a restaurant next door to them. Or a mechanic shop, what have you, but as it sits now, Olive Creek Road is residential with light commercial being, and I'm taking right from the master plan, clerical office. That it doesn't, it's not,
Doesn't require a special septic system.
no
et
special
cetera, et cetera.
septics, no special
There is a
parking.
process to fix it, to change it.
It's so-
Section 4.
If we need to
Right.
come back and look at, there needs to be changes, then that's fine, but
I see under light commercial, logistics, small medical facilities, and
Mhm.
often characterized by lower waste output or traffic compared to heavy commercial zones. Right,
In
so,
any case, the trucking is industrial, heavy industrial. It's
Not
not
industrial.
light
But what we're
industrial.
discussing now is changing the master plan.
Yeah.
The motion on the table right now is
That-
to make the master
make it
plan
master plan
enforceable.
enforceable as an ordinance, that's
And
the motion.
I'm more than happy to bring it back and.
No,
discuss
I know,
changes that
know.
You think we need to make, because the city council can discuss and propose changes and then have a hearing to have those changes made. That
Exactly.
process is all laid out. Right now, I think the discussion is just to make it enforceable, because nothing in that master plan is enforceable because it's just attached to the city by resolution.
It's a suggestion.
So, I mean.
okay. I think I get it.
Absolutely, I think you're bringing up good things that we can talk about, but I don't think that's part
No,
of this
Oh,
discussion.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think, I just want to make sure I understand what is enforceable, right? Because we have it, it's on our website, it's by ordinance.
Right now, nothing. Nothing in that master plan is enforceable until we get the ordinance that we passed.
Right,
Because right now,
Because it was only adopted by resolution.
because it was only adopted by resolution.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
why-
If you look at the whole residential area, everything within the city, the yellow
Yeah.
portion, that says it's residential, single family residences, and then in parentheses, MF, multifamily. So we have an ordinance that says single family. But the master plan is allowing multifamily. So, we've got to look at both.
Yeah.
But as the master plan was created, it was created based on what we thought zoning was going to be. So a zoning map, I mean, that's what's in the master plan
Mhm.
is actually what our engineer prepared. We had the city engineer prepared that map.
Yeah.
Went and looked at all the properties and that's what they came up with. So,
Okay, I just wanted to understand what enforceable meant by y'all's definition, right? So,
Mhm.
okay. So then I do have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Tremblay to enact our city attorney to draft a ordinance, I said that correctly, to make the master plan enforceable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Let's see here, all right, moving on to E, discussing a possible action on land use compliance for 21846 Priest Road. Well, can we even action this then if we?
well, I think the only way we can look at that currently is the ordinances we have as far as parking of 18-wheeler tractors.
Hmm,
They're not parked on hard surface. They're whatever they're dropping is going right into the water supply. I've heard through the grapevine, their septic is running out into the yard or what have you, so I'm not even sure their septic is up in compliance, but.
Is this the property where the gentleman came and addressed us and was
Right.
asking us to modify our commercial vehicle ordinance to allow him to have multiple vehicles in order for him to maintain his business of repairing heavy vehicles?
Right.
And again, as far as the commercial vehicle ordinance, it stipulates they can bring a vehicle in to work as they're working on it. And they're allowed, they can bring their vehicle in to work on it, but they can't have multiple vehicles all stacked in the front yard, like that's what's happened
Their
there.
whole backyard's
They
full
got
of them right now.
multiple, they got,
whether or not
yeah,
they're
they got
operable or
buses
not.
there at one time, buses that look like,
Buses.
they weren't running, so he's got an accumulation of vehicles now at this point. So,
I thought that was his business to have vehicles brought in and he works on that.
well,
He sends them down to Central America. Where did you say he was from, Michael? El
I think-
Salvador?
Yeah, something
somewhere
like that. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
yeah, he said he sent some out of country.
To get them repaired?
No, to
No,
develop.
He gets junk vehicles and does the care.
They're not
in
junk
Central
vehicles.
America.
Okay, so he has complete control of how many he has. This isn't customers asking him fix my car for me and hiring him as a mechanic.
Well, he
This
does
is
have
it.
that service as well.
Didn't he say,
Okay.
didn't he tell you that he had like 10 trucks?
Yeah.
And he's a trucking service as well as a trucking repair.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
owns a trucking company and then they go across borders and then he fixes up commercial vehicles that are in the area.
Right.
so in looking at the way our ordinances exist now. So he's got all these vehicles in there, they're not parked on a hard surface. Who knows what's getting dropped into the soil? At what point or what are our options, what are our powers to issue a cease and desist order? Being that he's violating multiple,
He's violating the commercial vehicle ordinance
Exactly.
and what else?
exactly.
I've seen him on 3 different occasions and I have photos of him burning during my burn ban. And in the past few weeks.
Well, that's something that the chief can
That's
handle. And I'm
already-
talking about environmental
Yeah,
issues that we should be addressing in our
Fire
city.
city down there and told them in person and they don't like.
Possible, call the TCEQ, if the TCEQ needs to get involved.
Yeah, Bear County
Um,
Environmental Services that's them, right? We have to get them involved.
What do we need to do to issue a cease and desist order?
Well, hold on, we're not on that point yet. We're still
Do we
on,
need to go to a judge or?
But that's
can
the
we
next
do it?
item right now.
Yeah, we're
talking-
still on
we
land
wanna Make
use.
this guy clean this
Oh,
up.
okay.
And which ordinance is he is he in violation of? And maybe as the mayor just said, do we need to pull in TCEQ?
yeah, or
in
Bear
order-
County Environment.
If
Bear
there's
County.
some sort of environmental concern.
Where's the
That would be
oil
something.
changes going?
Oh, yeah. how's he
That's what I
dispose-
was wondering, is he burning the oil?
That's
Oh.
what it's probably.
There are a lot.
That's a lot of
companies that can
speculation.
Do that.
A lot of
Is-
speculation.
How is he disposing of it? Is he
How is he
taking it
disposing?
somewhere? Is he just dumping it in the ground and polluting our city? I mean, these are all things that we don't know, but TCEQ, I guess, can help us resolve that and determine, is his septic safe or is he driving over it, parking on top of it? Does he have the
Oh, yeah, he's
appropriate
driving
thing?
on it,
Does he
parking
have the
on it.
appropriate drainage things? Are these all kinds of answers that TCEQ can answer for us?
I'm sure they can. So can we request TCEQ to inspect this property?
Like possibly them if it's under their jurisdiction or.
It's under Bear
their-
County Environmental Services, right? I mean, is that correct?
That is absolutely correct, and there are pictures of what his violations are.
So do we need a formal letter to go to Bear County to have them inspect that property?
I think the mayor can request that. From.
Does it
What's
come
the
from the mayor or
process?
the city council, city administrator?
So if you're already talking about the
Either,
septic
I guess.
system, all y'all would need to do, there's two
City administrator.
situations. One, you would contact Bear County Environmental Services and report the septic. There is a septic failure in the back.
There is.
Yes, there is septic failure.
How do you know that there's a septic
Because
failure?
my back truck was
Why
over there
are
at
you
his
so on his
residence,
team?
and there was a
I'm asking
huge
questions.
puddle in the back of his property that consisted of septic water.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm just saying that
Signing
even
in the
Public
morning.
Works has the authority to just send a letter to TCEQ and call them in on
Or-
behalf of the city.
The Bear.
Then just call it in.
And the radiator fluid and any liquids he's using on those vehicles, they are going on the grounds. There's no containers, there's no special.
Can you
oil-
submit that to Bear County, TCEQ, whoever's the
All you
appropriate
have to
source?
do is
Get pictures
contact-
from Crickmer?
All you have to do is contact
They
Bear
won't
County
go
Environmental
back.
Services and report the septic
They
system.
confronted me from.
You
the
contact
front of the property
TCEQ
when I was
and you can
taking
do the
pictures.
same thing and inform them that there is illegal dumping going on.
So will you do that? Send them an email, City of San Diego Public Works, send it to Bear County, send what the TCEQ would.
TCEQ has already been notified for the oil. The liquids, the illegal dumping basically for our water system.
And have you notified them?
Mhm.
Can you do a follow-up?
I can reach out to him.
Have they now replied?
The gentleman said that they would send somebody out and the same thing, I mean, Bear County Environmental Services hasn't been notified for the septic failure. Because that's too many 18-wheelers that he's bringing in. He's bringing the truck and the trailer in there. And there's too many of them. He had two when I went there to pick up my truck to get it off the property. And there was a huge puddle of septic water in the back of his property. So he's already crushed the system. He's living in a travel trailer. The mobile home is not being he's not living in it because in the back of it, there's no windows or doors. You could see all inside of it is completely, the front, when you drive by, it looks like he's residing in there or somebody is, but they're not. They're
Like it's
living in
gutted or
it as well.
something? Like it's gutted?
It is completely gutted.
Oh, the houses?
Yes, sir. There's nobody residing in
It's a
that. He's
facade.
not
Are
living
you
in it.
saying he's
Is
living in
that-
an RV?
He's living in the fifth wheel.
There's a,
That's a-
That's another
violation
ordinance
of-
violation, but isn't that also not having that a livable, isn't that a hazard? If it's like half demolished? That building.
yeah, it
itself?
could be, yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
same thing with, remember like with what's his name?
Right.
I think we need to get a lot of people in there to get a look at this.
He's got a bus, a massive, like almost like a Via bus in the back and the windows are shattered in it.
So can the police department confirm that this gentleman's living in a fifth wheel and not in that building as
When the
required?
septic line is
As-
hooked to the
As
fifth wheel.
required by the city ordinance?
So we can ask, and I'm pretty sure he is, because he was in my office explaining how they had a fire in his house and they could not live in that house right now. His main complaint is not even a quarter mile down the road, you've got another whole bunch of 18-wheelers there that when nobody addresses, right? And I've written citations to both places and then told to, no, that's commercial.
It is
Right.
commercial.
So
He pays
But
5 times
it-
the
not even a
taxes.
quarter mile down the road, you'll have another property that's got more 18-wheelers than the property that y'all discussed. And if in my
The one
opinion,
person
if we're
breaking the
gonna-
law doesn't give him the right to break
Right,
the law.
my
so-
opinion is you need to enforce this the same all the way across with everybody from
Absolutely.
both companies, the doors across the street, everything that's down there, they all. need
Yeah,
to
the
be-
doors, I thought they weren't in the city, they are.
Yeah, that's not this topic though. We're
No.
talking about this guy. And
And
this
I
guy
have
can't
no
use,
problem going back out, I've given them a citation. So I don't have a problem going back
right,
out
but
there.
is that a dangerous structure? Do we need to do the same thing we did with,
Over here.
Terry Reagan and have the property disassembled and removed? Or is it not damaged that much and it's something that he can rebuild?
I don't think we have we as a police department. We're not, or,
Have to get an inspection.
yeah, we're not
right?
inspectors to say it's unsafe or it is safe to live in, right? So, I'm not an inspector, but
Right.
city ordinance wise, I can tell you, he is in violation of the trucking ordinance. Just like the other people are, it just needs to be enforced the same across.
Also,
Be
the RV
enforced
ordinance, he's not allowed to
or-
live in the RV.
Make it a commercial property, right? And make him be in
So-
compliance.
Okay, but maybe we need to get the city administrator to have a building inspector come out and check out his building now that we know it's been damaged by fire.
In defense of
How does he let us in?
Antonio, my neighbor, he was doing that commercially before there was a city. Before he built his living quarters on there, it was strictly a commercial.
You're talking about.
He's a
different
welder,
property.
he's the welder.
You're talking about a different property?
Well, yeah, they're complaining about,
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's not
Apples and
relevant to
oranges.
this guy's property. Because we can have him on the agenda later if someone wants to talk about him, but I'd like to focus on getting this one. We do have a long list today. So
Sure.
let's focus on this gentleman. And we found this gentleman, what other people are doing is irrelevant. He needs to comply with the law. And we'll worry about making
Point
sure
well
the other
taken.
other folks
Thank
comply
you.
with the law. So,
So did we,
I gotta
did
get
we-
up between the morning.
You're fine. Thank you.
did
We
we,
didn't expect you to stay this long anyways.
so I think we need to take the steps necessary to get the right organization.
Scott, leave
out
me your
there
phone
to
number
look
and we'll
at
talk.
And see what's going on.
He has it? Okay.
TCEQ Building Inspector, Bear County Health, I think is what you were saying.
Environmental services.
Environmental Services. Maybe we need to get the city administrator to start reaching out to all these folks and get them to get out there and get a look at it. Cause the environmental services, TCEQ, I'm sure they've dealt with residents that don't want to be inspected, but don't have a choice because they're dangerous to the environment. I think it's in the best interest of our city to make sure this individual is not polluting our land.
All right, so
So, I mean, I don't think we need a motion for this, but I think that's just the direction we need to
Yeah.
go with this one, is
It-
just have the city administrator take care of all this.
If I could just go back for a second, we did task the attorney to draft an ordinance as far as the master plan, correct?
Correct.
And with a, can you bring that back for the next, meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the action on this one would be for the city administrator to arrange for these entities to, well, not TCEQ, I guess, Public Works to follow up with TCEQ and provide the city administrator an update on that one, since that contact's already been made.
Yeah.
And instead just focus on the other two, I think would be the potential action on this one.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think Priscilla already has contacts with those folks, so we can follow up with that, and then my only concern is how do we get inspection? Because we talked about an inspection, right?
The building inspector,
Yeah.
don't we have?
Well,
a-
no, I mean, like, how do we get on property? Because you
But if
can't
we
see
do
it from the
these
public.
organizations,
the
they should
police-
know how to do it.
The
or-
police department, the ordinance officer, they have by ordinance, they have a right to enter that property, correct?
If it's closed and locked, no, right?
Well, if it's closed and locked, but I mean, it's not
No,
closed
it's
and locked, so
right.
Okay.
it shouldn't be a.
That's my concern, right?
Yeah.
Is it, can he legally enter the
Yeah.
property?
Search for administrator.
So we're gonna need an administrator.
I don't think you need that, it's open. They can-
We should still walk up, knock on the door and ask him, but he's gonna be compliant, right? I've spoken to him several times, I've been to his house, he's been to the office, he's trying to do whatever he needs to be in compliance. I don't know if there is a way for him to be in compliance or not, but he's not gonna give an issue. I don't foresee one anyway, if I go out there and ask him, hey, he told me last week or so, the stuff they were putting in the back, because we explained to them about the surface and it can't be dirt and stuff, and they were putting stuff down in the back, to park it. And I'm sure he'll let us on his property.
And if not, we can come back and get the administrative order later, but let's just try the least
Intrusive way.
intrusive, that's the word I was looking for. And just see if the chief can go out there and make it happen, and just through the city administrator and public works efforts to contact these organizations, get these entities out there with the assistance of the police department. So
Okay, that's fine. One
does that
thing,
help address what you wanted to with this item? I believe it was Tremblay and Crickmore, you two, the ones that wanted that.
Oh, yeah, it's a starting point. I think it's a starting point,
if I can say one more thing, my only concern, right, is if we have this thing marked in purple, right, light commercial, and if he makes the argument that I bought it as light commercial,
where are you talking light commercial?
again, right, the same.
Light commercial as defined by the master plan stipulates that it's.
Again.
office.
But at this point in time, master
Okay.
plan's not enforceable. Right now, we just want to know what these official entities, TCEQ, environmental services, and building inspector have to say about the safety of this environment and whether it's getting into the ground, endangering his
Let's have
neighbors.
him move next door to the mayor, that'll solve everything.
So the only question is that we bring ourselves up for liability for a lawsuit, right? If he bought this property with, looking at this with the intention of making a commercial business, it just happened in Brownsville where they bought a property and they got sued because the city tried to make it residential. And I'm just throwing it out there. So something to mull about. But
Is this an issue, Cassandra?
Well, the master plan says it's like, it says it's light
Whatever,
commercial,
like commercial.
and it
combined
says
residential.
clerical office. It
Yeah,
doesn't-
so
that's what it
bringing in
says.
18-wheelers is not light commercial. So if his intent was to bring in 18-wheelers, I would concur that there's no
Right.
basis for a lawsuit here. If he was trying to run a business office out of there, that might be arguable.
It looks like commercial, but not, it's just intended for office or small retail type of
Right.
use. No special, let's say, septic system, so I don't, if that doesn't fall within that definition, then I would say not. Not.
Not a
compliant with
concern.
the use.
Okay. That's my last concern there. All right. So then we have instructions for that one, so we will move right along. All right, discuss and or possible action on a cease and desist for industrial commercial activity on the property located at 21846 Priest Road, Crickburn, Tremblay. You have the floor.
Again,
And stop referencing my house, sir.
I'll,
I'll find place.
Don't look at it. Even though you gotta pass by it every day.
So how does the
Sorry.
cease and desist, just and part of your explanation, how does that fit into the order of events and how does that differ from other things that have already happened, just for my educational purposes?
cease and
as we're
desist, I
talking
mean, we
about
look at, again, and I'm talking about, earlier on, I'm talking about regulating commercial businesses or regulating residential properties when commercial properties pop up. We have restaurants popping up in residential areas. So how do we address those? Can we issue a cease and desist order based on our master plan once, once we pass an ordinance enforcing the master plan? Because, I mean, we've got a food truck that now they're building a roof over top of it, making it more of a permanent structure in a residential area. So
So, I
how,
mean, but can't we do the cease and desist based on violating food handling laws, based on
No,
violating our
no.
Oh,
commercial
but
vehicle?
we're talking about food, but this is related to
For this,
21
I mean, can't we do a cease and
No.
desist based on the ordinances that are already being violated? Or do we have to wait for the master plan?
Well, with the
Well, now it's
dust
on-
and the,
I'll ask that to our attorney.
I think when the ordinance that y'all authorized with a type of penalty would include how the council wants to proceed when there's a violation of the master plan. So whether that's a cease and desist or an injunction, or a code violation, that could be in the ordinance.
So does a cease and desist have to come from a judge?
No, a cease and desist is just a letter notifying
I
someone
think
to
she's written
stop
it for
the
us
use.
before.
And then, if they do not, it usually outlines what the consequences would be. And whether that's a lawsuit or you'll get cited or whatever that is. The cease and desist is just a informal or a request to ask them to stop what they're doing before taking any other further legal action.
So we can come back,
yeah, I don't.
because
think
we have
can
some
work.
properties that we probably need to act on now. So if that's what the procedure is, then we can come back. I would postpone this until we.
I
pass
would
the-
agree with that.
So
We don't
postpone
need to-
until-
We just discussed the whole thing in the previous item, so I don't think.
So postpone to the next meeting when we
Yeah.
have the ordinance for the master plan on the agenda?
Right, but we need to come up with exact addresses of our properties
Okay.
at this point, if we're going to, well,
Yeah, if you're
in
gonna,
addition to
I'm
that.
just trying to ask for Robert's Rules of Order at appropriateness. Are you postponing to the next meeting or
Yes.
postponing until next month? I mean, what exactly?
If we have the ordinance prepared for the master plan, to be to the next meeting.
Okay, so whenever we're reviewing the ordinance for the master plan.
And I would request that this item be placed after. the,
Yeah.
Ordinance.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So then we will go ahead and do that. All right, and then, so then G, discuss and or possible action on ordinance 2021-62 procedures for adoption and amendments to the master plan. I think on that one, I think there was just some namings that we needed to change in there. Is that correct? I remember we were talking about it. I think it mentioned,
We're talking about.
Oh, I think you're talking about the removing the planning and zoning commissions.
yeah. Since it's no longer,
I would propose that we leave that in there, should we ever establish a planning and zoning commission, because by removing the planning and zoning commission as an official entity, that just makes the city council fill in, just as you as the mayor fill in for any city administrator role that's identified. They're interchangeable when we don't have a city administrator, so same thing I would say for planning and zoning commission, if we don't have one, it means city council, is that correct?
Yeah.
Ms. Saunders?
that's fine.
Yeah, well, the planning and zoning commission was abolished, and I believe that ordinance does provide for any repealing of any sections of conflicting ordinances, so for purposes of the planning and zoning section in the master plan, or the ordinance regarding the plan amendment, that would not be. So anyways. But the council, there is in the master plan, the role of council that's defined.
That was the only concern in this one. So if we don't need to, or we do. Figure it out.
No changes?
I think we're still reading.
Wait a minute. Why isn't this ordinance one sufficient for enforcing the master plan? 2020-162, because section 3, legal effect of the plan specifically states upon the adoption of a plan by the city council, no subdivision, street, park, or any public way, ground, or space, building, or structure, or public utility, whether publicly or privately owned, which is in conflict with the plan, shall be constructed or authorized by the city until and unless the location and extent, and it goes on. Is that not enough to enforce the master plan?
I think it is.
That's why I brought up the ordinance before, but Bill talked about the resolution, but I was just gonna add a, if. To this ordinance.
Yeah, that's why I
But-
sent it to you,
but-
John, when I said it's
But
effective,
they're already in
right?
violation.
That's what
of
we
the
passed it,
master
so-
Plan and the city. can
Which then
pursue.
gives us the legal.
Yeah, I was wrong.
2020,
Not operating.
162.
Is that an ordinance?
Yes, it's an
And
ordinance,
it's important.
162. It doesn't provide for any fees or
Yeah.
fines, so you're correct in that aspect of it, so it doesn't say. It just says the legal effect of the fine. I thought it was adopted by a resolution.
The master plan itself may have been, but the procedures for the plan amendment and the effect of the master plan
The master
Okay,
plan was
is.
by ordinance.
My ordinance or.
2020, 162.
167,
167?
yes, 167 is the actual master plan and signed as passed.
Okay, so we just
Look
need to
at
update this one
167.
to include a fine and fee.
You don't mind, what was that ordinance number again?
162, 2020-162 is the one that provides for procedures for adopting and amendments and says it's, legal effect of the plan is in section 3.
The actual master plan is in 2020, 167.
Is it a resolution or ordinance?
That's an ordinance,
It is.
yes. That includes the map and all of the supporting documents.
Okay,
120?
2020
2020, I'm sorry.
167, 162 is the procedures.
Which is kind of weird because you would think, yeah,
Yes.
160.
It is weird.
Well, we needed
It
the
would've been
procedures for
flipped.
adopting it before we could adopt it.
And I also think the plan can be amended from time to time, more often than the procedures, so that's probably why they.
So do we want to make any changes to this one?
Other than,
Or
other than if you.
the 2020
if we're going to
162.
Put,
I think that's what the,
penalties.
I think that's what the, city attorney is going to do in response to, the request, the motion
The
in
fines and
item
fees.
12D was to make this so it's, has fines and fees associated with it.
But not not referencing to the zoning commission, like how
No.
it's, no?
Oh,
Just referencing the master plan.
yeah,
Okay, so then we'll leave it as is.
yeah,
Outside of
because
which,
by abolishing the
It's
planning and
okay.
zoning commission, she said he took care of anything
okay,
that said planning and zoning commission.
all right, fair enough. Keep it moving. All right, let's see here, discuss our possible action on a resolution 2026-240 of the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks approving an interlocal agreement designating a health authority between Fair County, the city of San Antonio, and the city of Sandy Oaks, and authorizing the mayor to execute such agreement on behalf of the city.
I'm confused by these documents you
Mm.
provided to us, if I may.
And I didn't provide, she provided it to me, the doctor, so I don't know what your question is.
Absolutely. So I'm concerned about the dates.
Yeah,
So
so we're
because,
early.
because the previous letter lists the 25th of April, 2026.
Yep.
As the end date, but, this,
Resolution.
it says, but the email that she sent says it's set to end May 25th. Did it Does it end in April or does it end in May 25th? Because the email she has the previous letter attached to it.
Mhm.
And the previous letter states
I think we
25
were late.
April.
I think we were late.
No, it's a signed letter that says the 25th of April is when it ends. And now in her email, she's saying it ends the 25th of May.
Gotcha.
So do we need to start this in April instead of May? Just looking to deconflict those two dates because I don't want to go a month without that.
Yeah. I mean, I think my opinion, right? And it does say whether we sign it or not, they still serve as the health authority. I think it says that in here.
I think the last resolution, because it's done in even numbered years, the last resolution by the city was passed in April for the appointment in May. Is what,
This certificate of appointment,
mm,
which
But-
is attached to this email,
mhm.
says that it goes until the 25th of April is the end date, right? So that attachment, I opened the attachments to the email. But
Well,
this
at the
form for
very-
starting at this time says May 26th.
And at the
Which
very end,
means-
it says regardless of whether you choose to use Dr. Wu, designating Dr. Wu as an LHA simplifies logistics, or wait, hold on, will continue to serve your city, right?
It just simplifies things.
No, I get it. But
So, I mean, I've got
I
no
don't think,
problem.
I don't think we're gonna be lapsed in coverage. Even though even though there's two conflicting dates,
This kind of like a done deal, just say yay.
essentially.
Reaffirm.
But on what date? I think we should.
Well, then we have to.
Well, then just why don't we just clarify and then,
We can.
Fill in the
move
date.
to Allow the mayor to enter into the certificate of appointment for a health authority agreement once he clarifies the appropriate start date,
gotcha.
whether it be April or May of this year.
A second.
All right, so I have a motion by the mayor pro tem and a second by Alderwoman Walker to enter into a contract with Dr. Wu once the start date is clarified. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The local agreement is with Bear County and the city. Is that fair?
I think it's with Dr. Wu.
I just said certificate of appointment for a health authority was my motion. It didn't indicate who it was with. So if that was added in what he stated, then that wasn't what my motion was. Because I didn't want to specify who it was exactly with.
Right, so then, okay, so the motion by the mayor pro tem and seconded by Alderwoman Walker was to authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with
To enter into the certificate of appointment for a health authority.
okay, enter into a certificate of appointment for health authority, depending on the application, the appropriate start date.
The date.
Right. All right, all those in favor say aye.
I,
All those opposed? I will send her a follow-up email tomorrow.
thank you.
All right, agenda item I, discuss and possible action on ordinance installing flashing lights on all stop signs. On all stop signs at four-way intersections throughout the city to include intersections at Hickory Shadow and Waterwood Pass, Silver Chalice and Waterwood Pass, and authorize purchase and installation. Let's see, who's this? Alderman Tremblay and Alderwoman Walker, you do have the floor.
Okay. I got with the Public Works on this, this goes back, a couple of months to where, we had, Mrs. Hudson come in talking about the, incident on Waterwood Pass where, she was almost struck by a vehicle. So we decided at that time that we would put flashing lights there like we have further up on Waterwood Pass. I think those are the only four ways on those two main thoroughfares that don't have the flashing lights. Is that correct?
It would just be on Waterwood Pass.
Just Waterwood Pass?
Yes.
Okay, so that this would take care of that portion. And I believe we have estimates for the cost.
So your intention is to put them on all traffic control
The
signs
main thoroughfare
at that's
on Waterwood Pass.
not what the ordinance says.
Well,
It says all traffic control signs, signals, devices, and marking placed or erected prior to, no, where is it at? Erect and install at four-way stop signs in conformance with the Texas municipal code. It doesn't specify.
Because we did some already. There's some already been
Right,
done.
but
Right.
again, it's not gonna be on all the signs. It's only going to be on the two signs that are on
At
the
four
main roads.
At four ways
The,
on the main roads.
but not the side roads coming in.
No.
So that wasn't clear when I read the ordinance.
Yeah, and the draft ordinance has different intersections than what is on the agenda.
Yeah,
I think
this
to
is-
confirm that the agenda is the correct intersection, so.
So we've already got them at all the other four-way stops, and all the three-way stops have flashing lights. So these are the only four-way or three-way stops missing a flashing light, and your intent is to only place a flashing light on the stop signs that are on the main thoroughfares at these
Correct.
four-way stops.
Correct.
What are the yellow flashing lights for?
Warning you that there is a stop.
When there's a sign that says there's a stop sign.
Oh, okay.
Yellow
gotcha.
is a caution,
Gotcha.
caution light, yellow.
There are some.
Yeah.
We have some.
So how come we don't see those everywhere else? Like, I mean, I know why we're doing it here, but everywhere else you drive,
Because they're new.
how new, they've been there about a year now.
I don't know, they help me out.
Hey, they help, right?
Four in the
But
morning during
I
that
think-
fog.
I think, and our population.
yeah, that fog was nasty.
The population has grown as well.
I mean, they're
We have more
useful.
traffic, there's a lot more traffic. And the, I think the school routes, the buses are utilizing the intersections as stops for their on and offs. I know they use Waterwood Pass. I think it's just an added security measure for the school buses as well for the students.
Well, I think we need to have the ordinance fixed, because one, the street signs are wrong. It doesn't mention anything about the yellow lights being placed, and it doesn't say they're only gonna be placed on the main roads and not on all four of the stop signs at those intersections.
Would you like to make those changes?
So,
I think we should, I don't see why we should bring it back. I think we
Right.
make the changes.
so, does that accurately capture what it is that we're trying to do here? It's
Yes.
that single flashing yellow light preceding the stop
Preceding the
sign.
stop sign.
And a single red flashlight
Flashlight.
at the stop
Stop.
sign that are on the main roads at
Waterwood Pass.
the intersections listed in this ordinance. So I would move to have the city attorney amend the ordinance to specify a yellow flashing light preceding the stop sign and a red flashing light on the stop sign on the main thoroughfare, on the main road, Waterwood Pass, at the intersection at Hickory Shadow and Waterwood Pass, and at Silver Chalice and Waterwood Pass.
Second.
Did she say Waterwood Pass and Grand Spring?
No,
It's not on the ordinance.
It's not.
It's not on the agenda. Was that
It's-
one also?
yeah, but
It's-
it's the ones on the agenda should have been what the addresses are, or the streets are.
We already have that.
But it's on the top of the.
Right.
Right, the ordinance is wrong.
The ordinance.
So my motion is,
It's
my motion was to task the attorney to make that correction.
To make it, okay,
And then,
got it.
okay,
Because it's two intersections that are missing the yellow and red flashing light on Waterwood Pass prior to and at the stop sign.
all right. So I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Tremblay to amend the ordinance 2026-264 as stated previously. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? All motion carries.
I move to amend or to pass ordinance number 2026-264 as just amended.
Second that.
All right, I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderman Tremblay to adopt ordinance number 2026-264 as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right.
Do we need to do anything about approving the purchase or approving the ordinance
That's
implies
what I was
approving?
wondering about the purpose.
Implies approving the purchase. Is that implied?
It's in the budget.
I mean,
They're both under 1,500.
specifically, these were not in the budget, but we have money specifically for signs,
Signs.
so I'm okay with it if y'all are okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need a separate motion.
Yeah, that allows the mayor to, it authorizes the mayor to install and.
Okay,
Okay.
only better buy it for you.
We'll get them tomorrow. All right. Speaking of budget, let's see here. Next agenda item, where are we at? Oh, I lost it. J, discussing a possible action on the purchase of a new zero-turn mower. All right, Alderman Kirkmer and Alderwoman Walker, you do have the floor.
I just wanted to give our maintenance supervisor the opportunity to make her case if she wasn't here before.
The reason for the request for a zero turn, for my department is due to the fact that the bad boy that would be the one that we would replace is due to the fact that that is 14 years old. That is the original zero turn that the city purchased when we became a city. We've done a lot of preventative maintenance to it, oil changes, tires, blades, things of that nature. It, it runs. But we also purchased a Hustler. To, be able to, is that a blank? We purchased a second zero turn, because there's 3 of us employees and there's 30 acres of land to cover. But with this bad boy here, I don't want to be down a zero turn. And the summer's coming. And I don't think the zero turn is going to last us through the summer. That's my personal opinion with the maintenance that we've done to it.
My only thought, concern here is that I see $8,000, I think is what I see in remaining in their budget. So we need to move money if we're going to approve this item.
Correct. And as previously done in the budget process, we removed that money from the,
I remember that.
It was in there and now it's removed, correct?
correct.
We took it out, I believe, for salaries.
Yep.
For one of the positions.
And so while it
And
is
so
two
that
zero
money
turns-
was in there for a 12-month period. We can go back and look at those 2 salaries. But one being city administrator, the other being ordinance officer. We can look at those 2 salaries and take up, I guess, 25% off of those salaries and put it back into the public works fund. If you don't think that's doable.
Are those salaries, since we haven't hired anyone yet for those?
Right, it was budgeted
So
for
there's
October.
less requirement for those salaries? for the
Exactly.
year?
Exactly.
That's,
I think we'd have to do the budget amendment in an ordinance, right? Or
So
whatever.
can we bring, can you get a look at the budget and see if what, Alderman Tremblay is,
I can, make a motion to approve the purchase, taking so much money from this account and so much from this account.
so we need to
Well,
do,
we
we
need-
need a motion to amend the budget to do those changes, those
Mhm.
movements of money.
Right.
So we have to bring it back anyway. So I'd rather make sure that he's able to find that money and then we just do the motion. So I would recommend we postpone this until the next meeting and have the mayor bring back that budget evaluation that you just requested with any budget amendments necessary to make that doable. And then, we can address this item at that time.
Give me 1 second here, let me look at something.
But we can't just move the
Did we
money.
recover any money for the maintenance department by selling the old bad boy? to help pay for the new one? Is it, I mean,
I
is
don't see you getting a whole lot for it.
it, no,
We'll have to auction it or.
It'll still
put it
be
on
a
the bid.
serviceable asset though. We don't need to sell it.
Well,
And we still have 2 tractors too, by the way, so
How long is this quote good for? I'm trying
I think
to,
it's 30
I've
days.
redone this quote, literally, I have had to contact all 3 of those quotes that y'all have in front of y'all. And I have done that over 3 times and get in contact with the company, then it wasn't easy with 2 of them to have them.
Do an NTE, we're gonna do an NTE, right? If the highest one is 13,000, the highest one is
Yeah.
13,000.
that's 1 for 10.
Right,
Yeah, we
right.
want the
But
1%,
if you do an
right?
NTE of 13 and the quote changes because of the,
Well, can we approve the purchase and with a down payment? Can I make a deposit on it and they hold it for you?
is this gonna be paid upfront or on
Yeah.
time?
Typically paid.
we could finance it. We could figure out a way to finance it.
No, let's not do that. So we do with the big tractor.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to do that for $10,000.
no. But it would save your budget, cause it'd only be $5,000
Well-
bucks a year.
Well, like I said, we've got money in these salaries, if we didn't use it for 3 months.
Yeah.
October, November, December, and January, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think we need to make sure we have that fund, rather than committing the funds for the tractor before we verify and make the changes to the budget.
Well, I'm saying, we can take 25% off of the salaries off of even in the police department, we have salaries. That we're not paid out, that are budgeted. So we can find it, it's not an issue.
So you're saying between not just the city administrator and code enforcement, but even the police officers?
Sure,
that
he's
are
got
unemployed.
positions
You
that
think,
that
yeah,
aren't
when you
filled.
consider that as well, you're,
All that salary
Yeah.
money is available.
if a city finance person thinks that $10,000 is
But
available,
basically,
then
to just move $2,000 at this point, if we can just, move $2,000, we can just,
And put it where?
into public works.
No, I know, but which, and we need to talk about this offline, because this is not the agenda. So if you're okay to approve the invoice, we approve the invoice, right? And then I can figure that part out on the next meeting when we do the budget. I'll come to you with suggestions. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the $10,000 quote is still a valid quote based on the date on this one, so
So we have 8,000 in the budget
Says
still,
8,000.
For now, she could just buy it, right?
right,
And then we just make the amendment, so.
right.
well, it costs 10,000. And the date on the invoice is January 7th, so it was just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Or no, just yesterday.
Well, all right, I move to approve the purchase of a zero-tone mower for public works, for cost not to exceed $10,000.
I'm second.
There you go.
No, there shouldn't be.
No.
All right, I got a motion by our Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderwoman Walker to approve a purchase of a zero-turn. Crickmer, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase it.
Alderwoman Crick.
Alderman Tremblay and Alderman Crickmer to approve the purchase of a new zero-turn mower for with an amount not to exceed 10K. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Get your name correct. All right. That motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries. All right.
My credit card, am I able to use?
No.
this?
Well, we'll get it figured out. We gotta move the money first.
No, that's
Yeah, but not the credit card. Yeah. I think that they're limited, so. It's either that or we gotta call it in, so.
not.
All right, all right, agenda item K, discussing or possible action on entering an MOU memorandum of understanding with the city of China Grove. This is just a discussion to talk about what an MOU is and what the idea is all about. So I will leave it to the chief to discuss.
So I did a little printout just to give you guys an idea. I'm not gonna read it all out to you unless you want me to, but, the last couple of months, we've been meeting with China Grove. It all came to be with, I'm gonna find out they were one of the first ones that responded out here when, Officer Maldonado had his incident. And we're still trying to get that case prosecuted, right? There was never a case report filed at the DA's office and that. So China Grove has been very, helpful. They've provided their body cam footage, dash cam footage, statements, reports, everything that we need to get this case prosecuted. In meeting with them, we got to talking with their chief, their lieutenant, come to find out they've actually responded out here quite a bit. The fact they were here last night, there was a subject with a gun call last night. They responded along with Elmendorf and Bear County. Didn't have anybody working last night. 10 o'clock at night last night, I get the call after the scene's been done. They told me they emergency detention somebody in our city, and they were just advising me of what had happened. But an MOU essentially would allow us to have them assist us without fear of, hey, did I have authority to be in that city, the authority to be in that city to help the police department, or us assist them with, am I gonna get sued because did I have the authority, right? I'm not part of that municipality. If we get an MOU working agreement, you're allowing them to come and enforce laws in the city of Sandy Oaks, and they would allow us to go over and help them. So benefits of that, whenever Bear County can't back us up, they can come back us up without fear of not having the authority. Training, right? So I had the situation where I'm trying to get people just to come and help me before I made entry into a house to arrest somebody. I got Elmendorf out here, school district out here, other people out here, but nobody's ever trained any together. If we're working together, we'll train together. We got to clear a building together, clear a house together. If you know who you're doing it with, it's safer, right? So train together, work together. And then another big thing is we call them like little local task forces, right? And I've been a part of several of them. We do it with where I come from in Jim Wells County, now SPD. And anyhow, we say, you know what? Let's bring everybody into the city of Sandy Oaks and let's enforce traffic. We've got maybe a couple of their units, a couple of our units. We would team up, force traffic here 3 or 4 hours, and then go into their city and do the same thing. I have found that that's benefited in all types of ways as far as getting drugs off the street, DWIs off the street, whatever the case may be. But we could do that maybe once a month. I spoke to their chief, we met, he's all for it, he's a retired DPS trooper. He's for it. They're supposed to have it on their agenda as well. We're wanting to move forward in the future with hopefully getting the same agreement with Elmendorf and other smaller towns so that we can, like I said, if you train together, you're gonna work together. Possibly getting a range full-time together as well. If, in my opinion, a win-win for both cities.
Well, Chief, I have a question. Why should, I can see helping out and assisting, right? They have an emergency, not a big deal. But why should the city of Sandy Oaks residents pay for CC and Officer Franco, Sergeant Palomares and Officer Franco to go work traffic in another city?
So that would be like, in other words, a local task force being done, and it's just when we don't have the manpower and they don't have the manpower, teaming up, we have enough manpower to say, and I lack of better terms, it's just lighting up the city, giving police presence, letting them know we're here. Today, for example, you saw we have over 50 bags of narcotics that they're still processing back there, right? Because people, they don't fear the getting stopped in the city of Sandy Oaks when they only see 1 or 2 cars every now and then patrolling. When we could get 4 or 5 units in here, whether it be DPS, China Grove and Sandy Oaks, or Elmendorf, China Grove, Sandy Oaks, and light up the town, it gives police presence and the citizens feel safer. Vice versa, right? If they come over here for 3 or 4 hours, then we can go, we're not gonna leave the city unattended. It would be, if need be, then Rick and I would go and CC and Andrew can stay back here, whatever the case may be. But it's just increasing the citizens' awareness and safety for both cities.
Okay.
So, just to clarify, when someone calls 911, and we're not available, they're only gonna send the Bear
Bear
County
County.
out here. They're never gonna reach out to another city and task them to come over here,
No,
correct?
they take it upon themselves to come out here and assist.
Just wanted to clarify. So,
Elmendorf is the same.
so if, when we do that, we're doing that on our own, or they're doing it on their own to come over here. It's not because 911 told them to go.
Right.
So that's why they're taking that risk, and we need the authority to go on. So
Well, and to further into that, Bear County has jurisdiction within the city of San Diego.
they have jurisdiction
Right,
everywhere in
right,
Bear
so
County,
that's
absolutely.
not-
What is the travel time between the two cities?
It's not close, right? But I did look, I don't wanna be quoted on the time, but I wanna say it was like a 11 minute drive, because several units.
So it's less than
responded.
15 minutes.
Correct. Several units responded to Maldonado's call, and I wanna say if I go back, it was like 9 to 11 minutes between, for all three of their units to get here. Their lieutenant came, and their sergeant came, and an officer came.
So less than 15 minutes. Yeah,
China Grove is 10 minutes, traveling normal speeds.
definitely normal speed. Okay, great. So more than likely it's gonna be a less than 10 minutes kind of thing, in most cases.
I'll try to, yeah.
And maybe a little bit longer if there's too much traffic out there. And then are we able to do this, given the fact that we're already down 2 officers, or would this require you and the lieutenant to get involved and do that exchange as you just,
Right, so
indicated?
like I
Cause
think,
we're on a single officer patrol.
right now, well, it's 2 officers, right? CC and Andrew work the same shift, right? For safety purposes, but, I explained to their chief that whenever we do the task force operations, what I call them, right? The joint operations, that would never be done without myself or Rick being there. So, we might take a patrol unit, a patrol officer, we may not, depending on how many people we're gonna have out there. And, authority wise, you know, I've spoke to my officers, if you guys decided to move forward with this, I told them, look, and we discussed all this with their chief and their administration too. When we're in their city, we're following their authority, right? I may be the chief, but if their patrol officer says this is how we're gonna handle it, I might recommend, hey, might be better to do it this way, but we wanna let them handle it the way they're gonna handle it. Same as if their lieutenant's over here and patrolling with one of our patrol officers. Our patrol officer has what we call lead. They are the lead person that we call within our city, because our city ordinances and stuff are gonna differentiate, right? So, the host city, their ranking officers who has lead on all calls.
Okay, and,
Okay.
2-part question, what is the size of their department and what kind of coverage do they have? 24/7, 1, 2 officers, what is their
So
coverage
they,
they have?
they do not have 24 coverage at this time, because they have some people that are out first. Otherwise, they would have 24-hour coverage. The actual size, I don't remember quite offhand because they have reserves, but I want to say it was like 14, 15 officers that they have with the reserve.
Alderman Tremblay has a question.
Just for clarification, if you don't, we don't have a policeman on duty, somebody calls 911 from here, Bear County responds. Our policemen don't, we have a policeman, a police officer on duty, they get a call from China Grove, hey, can you assist, we got a big thing going down here. When they leave, if they choose to go to China Grove, will they notify Bear County that we no longer have an officer here, so that when 911 calls, they get a call, Bear County, the dispatcher knows that we don't have anybody on duty.
No, they're over there. So it's automatic, that's what the CAD system is for. Bear County knows where units are at all times, right? So it's on the computer CAD system. Say there's a shooting in China Grove, and now we're headed that way. They know because we're logging in, we are marking on the computer en route. They know we're already en route. There's no need for us to call.
That's my only concern, that if we've got someone on duty and we need an officer here and they're responding to China Grove.
And that may happen from time to time where there's not gonna be anybody here because but you know what? That happens now, right?
Oh, I know.
If there's a call that is, if an officer, I've instructed my guys, if an officer is needing assistance and they're in Elmendorf, they're in the county, that you're going, right? Because that's priority 1. Then get back, once it's under control, get back to the city because we need you here. But that's already happening. this is just gonna provide us with a sense of, you know what, we're covered, right? We're covered under their umbrella. It's just less of a liability on us or on them when they're here, like they were here last time.
Who would draft this MOU?
So I already have 3 copies that they've drafted. Their chief has, their lieutenant drafted them, their chief has them because they have MOUs with other agencies already as well. It's a matter of getting back with their chief and deciding which MOU would be best. But they're already drafted.
And then we
And
would
we-
present it to the city attorney for her
Right,
review.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're signed by the police chiefs in both cities or the mayors in both cities? At what level is the?
So I believe it needs to go to council, right? The
Right,
council would have
absolutely, the
to-
council would approve it,
Right,
but,
would have to
who's
approve
the signatory based on the approval of the council?
I have to check on that. I'm not positive whether the chiefs do it or if it's the city administrator that does it, but
Well, if they've done a few, they should know
Yeah,
what
they
the
would.
appropriate level, or our city attorney can definitely weigh in on that. Okay.
So the purpose of this point is really just to, again, have that discussion and see if we want to put this on the next agenda for an actual review of or give it to our city attorney to review, so that way we can put it on the next agenda.
I'd definitely be interested in seeing what MOU would entail and involve and commit us to and provide to us. So I would like to see the details of it.
Yeah, so
I
let's,
think there's benefits in it.
yeah, so let's get whatever, whichever one you decide on, let's get it to our attorney, or let's see all 3. Right, get it to our attorney, let her take a review at it, see what she likes and doesn't like. And then we come up with our idea of what it should be, and then we approve that and then see if they approve it. Right. So I think pretty simple. Any questions on that? No, good, okay.
That's positive.
All right. All right, guys. Well, let's move on to agenda item 12N and P, executive session N is executive session to deliberate the hiring of a code enforcement officer and related matters pursuant to Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas State Government Code, Section 551.074. And P is executive session to deliberate the hiring of a city administrator and related matters pursuant to Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.074. Time is now 8:53. We are in executive session. Yep. All right. Time is now 9:21. We are in session. I can find my agenda just for you to look. I can find, I just lost mine. All right, so for agenda item O, discussing our possible action on hiring a code enforcement officer and related matters. At this time, we are going to keep the position open. All right, and then moving on to the last item. Discussing our possible action on hiring a city administrator and related items.
All right, sir, for that, I would move to authorize the mayor to offer the position of interim city administrator to Dr. Jermaine Johnson with a starting salary of $60,000 a year to begin based on a date reached in agreement between yourself and Dr. Johnson.
Okay, so I do have a motion from our Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second from Alderman Tremblay to offer the position of interim city administrator to Dr. Jermaine Johnson with a starting salary of $60,000 and to start on a date negotiated based on our conversation. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? That motion carries. I got one more.
I move to adjourn.
It is now 9:23. We are adjourned.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Turn off your mics.
Oh, thank you so much.